Hey everybody, today is Monday, September 3rd, 2012, and this is my Wisconsin garden update. Here you can see my Big Max pumpkins. I have, I think 4 or 5 of these now. Got another one over here. And let me show you what else I have over here. Look how big these vines are. I have an unusual pumpkin over here. Long vines. I'm not sure what kind this one is, but it's pretty big. I'd say about 15-20 pounds. It's kind of white with an orange tinge to it. And then here's kind of a view of the whole pumpkin patch. It's kind of taken over. And let me show you some other ones I have going. Well, out in the middle of the patch, there's another pumpkin. You can see it's kind of green and yellow striped. I don't know what kind that is, but we'll find out in a few weeks when I harvest. Here you can see my Jack B. Littles. I probably have about 30 of these this year, and they seem a little bit bigger than last year, and I'm guessing that's because they got what they needed this year. Lots of fish fertilizer every 2 weeks. Here's a quick look at my tomato patch. Lots of tomatoes, and it looks like the plants are getting to the end of their lifespan here because the bottoms are dying out. And the tops are still going good. You can see these are Tommy toes right here. And beyond those are Mexico midgets. And over here are my Rutgers, which I harvested a lot 2 weeks ago. Then over here are Van Wert, Ohio tomatoes, which I'm going to clone today. I'll show you how I do that in a few minutes. And a bunch of Wisconsin 55s. More Wisconsin 55s. And then we have, down here we have Hoy tomatoes. You can see how big those things get. And I'll weigh a few of these today, see how much they weigh. I know that one's over a pound. And yes, they get really tall too. This one's about 11 feet tall. These are my Van Wert, Ohio tomatoes. I got the seeds from Lurley on Tomatoville. The seeds are hard to come by, and I didn't bag blossoms because I wasn't here all the time. And I want to keep the strain pure. Don't trade with people that don't bag their blossoms because you never know what you get. And so what I'm going to do is clone this plant and grow it indoors this winter and get some nice tomatoes that I know weren't cross-pollinated with other tomato plants. And I'll show you my cloning process real quick here. It takes about 1 minute. Alright, here's my quick clone kit. Here I have rock wool cubes. I have 4 of them. I'm going to clone 4 plants. And this could be an ice cream bucket or whatever. A little bit of water at the bottom. Make sure you soak your rock wool. Get it nice and moist. And then need scissors, some saran wrap. This is actually shrink wrap from my shrink wrap machine. And then some rooting hormone. And this is important because it'll make it take off faster. Alright, you'll need to choose a growing tip or a sucker and cut it at a 420-degree angle. Just like that. Alright, next I take my cutting and I scrape a bit around where we just cut it. And then I take my rooting hormone and I'll just dip it in that. Let me show you that. Okay, here's my rooting hormone. Just dip it in there. See, it's nice and coated. And there's our plant number 1. Stick it all the way into the bottom. And I'll do 4, and whichever one takes off best, I'll keep it. Okay, the clippings are in rock wool cubes, so what I'm going to do next is put them in the bucket with a little bit of water at the bottom, keep them moist for about 6 days, cover them with saran wrap, and then the roots will start popping out of the sides of the rock wool. And at that point, you can put them in either hydroponics or soil, and they'll take off like a rocket. Here we are 6 days later. Here's my Van Wert Ohio's in the rock wool cubes. And you can see roots are popping out the bottom now. So I'm going to put these in a grow bag, at least 2 of them, and throw out the other 2. And have them go this fall so I can save seeds. Did you ever wonder what to do with all the rotten tomatoes out of your garden? Well, I'll show you what we do here at the House of Sleestack. Alright, and this is what you do. Next. Okay, now a quick peek at my Shoreline Garden. This one I planted in about 10 or 15 minutes just to see how the plants would soak up the water being by the shoreline. Didn't water them, didn't do anything all year to them. They just grew on their own. The soil probably isn't the best for them because it's just sand. And you can see I probably have over 100 tomatoes here. And a lot of them are falling over now, probably because the plants are so pathetic that they can't hold the weight. Here's some Burpee 100s, I think that's what those are. Quite a few of those. And these pathetic little plants are Rutgers. There's a Rutgers tomato right there. Amazing that that scrawny little thing can support that fruit. And there's some more down there. Well, it's a beautiful day at the lake, and here's my harvest roundup. Got it all put here on my railing. Here I have a nice big basket of Tommy toes. And I did get a little bit of green beans, probably enough for one meal. And these are all the ones I picked on the shoreline, mixed variety. Picked the yellow ones too because they're going to go bad. And here's a basket of Mexico midgets. And in this basket I have, those are Rutgers, just a few. I had a bigger harvest last time. And some cucumbers. We had a bumper crop of cucumbers this year. And then some big monster hoys. And then a nice big basket of Wisconsin 55s. And let me show you how big, let's see, I think it's this one right here. That's my biggest one here, so I'll let you see how much it weighs. Alright, it's time to see how much this bad boy weighs. I'm going to turn on the scale. You can see it zeroed out, switch it over to ounces. And here I go. Zoom out here to put the tomato on. It's a big one. There we go. And zoom back in here. £2, 0.24 ounces. And that would have been my record, but I grew a bigger one in Illinois, which I haven't showed you yet. Well, that's all I have for you this time. Next time will probably be my last harvest in 2 or 3 weeks, because we'll probably have frost by then, which we did last year, and everything was dead. And at that time we'll be harvesting the potatoes, squash, pumpkins, and the watermelons. And so we'll see you next time. Whoa, get the net.
Get the net. Dog's on it.
He is a big one.
Whoa. No.
Oh,
No. It's right there.
he got off. Yeah, I filmed
Did you get it on film?
Yeah.
Holy moly. It's big.
Too bad he got off. We didn't have the net ready, huh?
That was big.
I've never seen one that big for a
Me
long
either.
time.
I never seen one that big in my